going on?
Thank you so much.
Feel like $1 million.
Shout out TMZ, you up?
Let me check out that ring.
TMZ stands for the Mayweather Zone.
How'd you find me, bro? I got my disguise on.
I love my TMZ family.
Welcome to TMZ Sports. Babcock here. Jake Paul is absolutely ripping into Gervonta Tank Davis, going scorched earth on the undefeated boxer. Now, as we know, the fight is off. The fight that was scheduled for November 14th, Jake Paul, Tank Davis. It was, if nothing else, a super intriguing matchup, but it all got thrown into the air last week when Tank Davis was sued by a woman who claimed that they dated for like 5 months, and that Tank had actually gotten violent with her. Now, he has not been arrested. It's not even a criminal investigation at this point. It's just a lawsuit. But Jake Paul and MVP, his promotion, along with Netflix, they obviously were following this story, and they ultimately made the decision to pull the plug on that fight. Now, the decision was made last night. Now, in a second, we'll get into who Jake Paul ultimately fights here and when he steps back into the ring. And there are some big name potential opponents here. But we've got to talk about Jake Paul and what he had to say about Tank Davis, because he didn't just say, Lucas, hey, this fight's not on and we're going to move on. He went in on Tank. He really attacked this guy.
He sure did, and he was ready to unload on Tank. I feel like he was holding this in for a long time, and once it was finally canceled, he's like, all right, I have nothing to lose. Yeah. But he went on social media, and this is what he had to say about Tank. Gervonta Davis is an actual walking human piece of garbage. Working with him is an absolute nightmare. The unprofessionalism, the bizarre requests, the showing up hours late to shoots, to the numerous arrests and related accusations and lawsuits. If you support this man, you support the most vile sin a man can commit. I didn't want to give this woman abuser a platform to grow his fans and to grow his bank account. My company champions women. I'm so sorry to everyone involved.
Wow. I mean, again, that's about as strong a statement as an athlete could say about another athlete. This was going to be a huge fight. It was just about a week and a half away. It was on Netflix. You were going to have tens of millions of people who were watching this, 50, 60 million, who knows? And there was going to be a massive payday for Tank Davis. So while Tank has accomplished everything in the ring that you could want to do as a boxer, I mean, this was likely going to be the biggest payday that he was ever going to receive. And now it's not going to happen. Again, like we said, it's not a criminal investigation right now, but the allegations were serious enough for Jake Paul that he, again, said, no, we're not going to do this. So now, Mojo, that begs the question, where does Jake Paul go from here? Jake obviously was trying to test himself with an albeit much smaller fighter, but a guy who was super accomplished inside of those, the squared circle. So who does he fight now? Now, there are a couple of opponents whose names have been thrown out there, starting with Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou, for as small as Tank Davis was, obviously Francis is a giant. Talking about a guy who was 6'4", 6'5", 260 pounds, all muscle, who was a former heavyweight champion, who has boxed and went into the boxing ring, as a matter of fact, and gave Tyson Fury every bit that he could handle. And as you see, actually put Tyson Fury on his ass. Tyson Fury is one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time. We reached out to Francis Ngannou, Mojo, yesterday, and we asked him, we said, hey, people are talking about your name. Do you have any interest in fighting Jake Paul?
No, there's no such of thing happening. Basically, like, how can they go from like Gervonta Davis to Francis Ngannou? Like, I mean, Gervonta Davis is a fantastic boxer, but and is a one-shot knockout artist. But come on, like the way different and everything, it make no sense. Don't disrespect me like that. And then they even say like even come out after and say, and what if the number are good? He sent out some number. I'm like, it's not about the number. If it was about the number, we could have started talk. I would have tell you, I'm not just interested. It make no sense for me. It's not my what I'm looking at right now.
So there was Francis Mojo. This actually was before the fight was officially canceled, although the writing was on the wall. It was very clear that this was going to ultimately happen. But Francis, as clear as could possibly be said there, says, no, I'm not interested, and it's not even about money. So he claims it's not a negotiating ploy, Mojo. Now, whether or not we believe that, we can get into it. But Francis says it ain't happening, although people still continue to talk about him being one of those names. The other names, by the way, if you're interested, Ryan Garcia, boxing star, Nate Diaz, UFC star, and Terrence Crawford, Bud Crawford, who just beat Canelo Alvarez. I don't think that one's actually realistic, but the other three guys I say are on the table.
Yeah, I don't know. Ryan Garcia, maybe. Bud, yeah, I don't know about that one. Nate Diaz, I don't know if that carries the same appeal as everyone that you're talking about, because I mean, you got to look at it too. Mike Tyson, Tank Davis, Francis Ngannou, like you look at his past fights and, you know, who he would like to fight right now. Who else is going to live up to that stature and create something that's intriguing? I mean, for Francis, no one would expect Jake to win. If people are going to tune in, they're going to tune in to see if Jake Paul literally is murdered in the ring. And there's a lot of people out there that would love to see Jake get his ass kicked finally. So there's that. Of course, Jake is aware of that. He'll play into that. Mentioning Francis Ngannou, I think, is a great move by Jake's camp. I mean, obviously, you're running damage control like crazy right now. You also always want to build up your guy. Jake Paul calling out Francis Ngannou, whether he knows he's going to take the fight or not. He still looks like a badass. There's that. I mean, for all the reasons that you've already said, Francis, one of the most dangerous guys on the planet, at least in an octagon. Maybe not so much a boxing ring, but still, I think we all can agree he'd probably whip Jake's ass. But this is tough, man. I mean, look, take all the personal issues aside, as heinous as they sound for Tank. This matchup just was very exciting. I said it so many times. Like, this was going to be the fight I was most excited about in Jake's career. Of course, Tyson will be the one everyone talks about, but what product was actually delivered in the ring, we all know what that was, and we've talked about that one. This was going to be the first time he was taking on a legit fighter. It was made more interesting by the fact that he's so much smaller than Jake, because now Jake has a little bit more of a chance. And as we look at the video of the head-to-head, it just makes you even more excited to see this thing, right? It's like a legitimate competition at this point against a legitimate fighter. So I think everyone was thrilled to that. Now, how do you replace this? How do you not let all the hype just die overnight? I don't know how they do it, but the longer this goes on, who knows what this is going to turn out to be in the end. I don't know, man. I just don't think that they get Francis Ngannou unless they really, really come up with an obscene number that might not make any sense. And still, I don't see this doing Jake a ton of favors. Who's going to be after that? I guess Ryan Garcia might be the next best in line, but the other two, I don't think that's the move.
Yeah, look, he's already fought Nate Diaz. He beat Nate Diaz. Nate, though, claimed afterwards that he was injured. Ryan Garcia, same kind of size, same kind of weight class as Tank Davis. As a matter of fact, Tank Davis is the only person that has ever beaten Ryan Garcia. So I do think there are intriguing matchups out there. And I think ultimately when Jake does step back into the ring, it's likely going to be sometime in December. It's not going to be this month anymore, but I think they will get an opponent that does get fans excited. And I'm not so sure ultimately that it's not still going to be Francis Ngannou, because after we talk to Francis Ngannou, he says what he says. Jake Paul sees our interview. He then goes to social media, and Jake Paul says, "Dear Francis, just say you already got humiliated in boxing and are scared to lose to Jake Paul. I accept that. You are light work, my friend, stuck in mud." And Francis Ngannou responds to that, "Choose your words wisely, boy. I agree that you need someone to discipline you for what you did to Mike Tyson, but stay in your lane." So, look, if Francis doesn't intend to fight Jake Paul, they've got all the elements for a fight that people want to see. They've got the trash talk. They seemingly don't like each other. There's a ton of money on the line. They've got Netflix. Why not fight? We'll see. Tom Brady reveals something pretty crazy that's getting mixed reviews on social media. We'll break it all down for you next on TMZ Sports. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Babcock and Lucas. Tom Brady. This is a crazy story. Tom Brady, his beloved dog Lucas, passed away a couple of years ago. Well, when you're Tom Brady, you've got all the money in the world and all the resources in the world, and you miss your dog. What do? You clone her, and that's exactly what we learned today that Tom Brady did. And it's a polarizing act. Some people are really against it, but some people say, hey, it can be done scientifically. Why not do it? What's the deal here? Who is the dog? What happened?
Quite the shocking revelation from Tom Brady here. He has had his dog, Junie, for a few years now.
Okay.
Actually debuted Junie a few months after his beloved dog, Lua, a Pitbull mix, passed away. Now, this was a dog that Tom Brady had with Gisele Bündchen, was even involved in ads and was all over the place. They absolutely adored that dog. Well, when they knew Lua was not going to make it into the new year, what they did is they drew a blood sample, and a few months later, Junie, through Colossal Biosciences, was created. So essentially,
wow.
Junie is a clone of Lua, and which is why for years people were like, man, he sure did get a similar dog to what he had before. This all makes sense now. But he said it was just a blood sample, non-invasive kind of a procedure. Now, we did some research, and something like this will cost people about $50,000.
Okay, nothing to him, right?
Right, which, I mean, he could make that in about a few minutes.
Right, yeah, a couple words on Fox on Sunday, and there, $50K for Tom. But Mojo, it's a polarizing, it's a controversial thing to do because you're recreating like a being, right? It's not a piece of property. It's an animal, a live, living, breathing animal with the personality. I don't know how I feel about it. I've been going back and forth on this all day. I don't know how to feel about this.
I think you guys are missing the bigger picture here, fellas. Tom Brady and Gisele just finally, for all of mankind, figured out how you handle pet ownership post-divorce.
Yeah.
You just get a clone and then you both get the dog in a way. That's the bigger picture here, guys.
No, Mojo, it's true because if they happen to split up and then the dog unfortunately passed away, but they both were the owners of that dog, so that would have actually potentially been an issue for them.
I mean, obviously, I'm kind of joking here a little bit. I mean, this one, I mean, I get it. People really, really love their pets and they would do anything for it. And if you have the means to do so, you're willing to spend anything for that pet. So in a way, this is almost an extension of spending lots of money on surgeries and medicines by, in a way, extending the life of your dog. But for me, this isn't it. I mean, even if I had Tom Brady kind of money, which hopefully I will one day, but I absolutely do not right now. This is not the way that I would have gone. Personally, I'm a rescue kind of guy, so I'm just going to go down to the shelter and get one that's about to be put to sleep anyways, kind of save a life here. But I also understand people, have very strict desires and wants and needs for a pet. So, not everyone is going to go the rescue route, but still, I don't know, man, this one's going to be interesting. I don't think this is obviously going to be even remotely the last time we see this. I think I could see this being a almost viral trend for the rich and wealthy, right? I could see people bragging about generations of clones down the line. I absolutely think that's coming, and I think that's already in the works. But obviously, when it comes to pets, he's going to come under fire for something no matter what he does. But again, this one ain't for me. Yeah, and to your point, Mojo, about other celebrities and people with means doing this, there have been others, right, Lucas? I think Paris Hilton is somebody who has cloned an animal, cloned their dog as well. Barbara Streisand. So absolutely, it's already prevalent, and I think you're going to see more and more celebrities do similar to Tom Brady. Up next, Baker Mayfield making fun of himself. The Bucs quarterback reminisces about his 2017 viral police arrest when TMZ Sports returns right after this. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Baker Mayfield, of course, having a really nice season once again for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Well, last night on Monday Night Football, Baker Mayfield joined Eli Manning and Peyton Manning's Manning Cast. And, well,
a lot of athletes, they take themselves too seriously. Baker Mayfield, not in that category because he used his appearance with the Manning brothers to make fun of himself for an incident that happened nearly a decade ago. Watch this.
What day of the week do you work on like breaking tackles and the spin moves and some of that stuff?
Well,
the duck up and under?
I tried one time in Fayetteville, Arkansas. It didn't go too well. Wound up getting arrested. But I've improved since then. So, just finding time whenever I can.
Hey,
We can find that footage, I'm sure, also. But
That's the
we
key.
won't.
So they show the footage of him scrambling. He looks like Mike Vick. Not really Baker's typical game, but he was scrambling all over the place. They couldn't tackle him. And then he brings up what was at the time, at least, Lucas, it was a bad thing for Baker, right? I mean, he was getting destroyed for this.
Yes, he was.
Oh,
and
no.
He's never going to be able to live it down because the video is so embarrassing. But yes, you have a college athlete, Division I at the time, trying to run away from cops. He initially told them, look, I was trying to break up a fight, but as he was talking to them, he realized things might not be going his way, so he tried to flee, and that he did not do because the cops tracked him down and tackled him immediately after.
What a tackle by that one cop there.
They made the sack jokes and all that and everything, but he was ultimately charged with public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. He went on to be a pretty good football player. He was a Heisman winner, #1 overall pick to the Cleveland Browns, and, he's still playing in the league. So he was able to turn things around quite a bit.
Yeah, this was February of 2017 in Fayetteville, Arkansas. And we have a couple misdemeanors. So he obviously, he went on. He's the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft mojo. But I think it does say something about Baker Mayfield that he goes on TV in front of millions of people and he can make fun of himself in what, again, was a really not so great moment for him.
All right, hold on. Pause on the Baker Mayfield thing. I got to talk about that cop that made that perfectly beautiful tackle right there. I need his resume. I am willing to bet money that this man played arena football at some point, all right? Just the awareness for the half a wall right there was way too good. He dropped the shoulders, he rolled through his hips, drove through the tackle while keeping his head above the wall level so he didn't smash his face. I mean, look how perfect that was. I mean, that dude definitely played ball at some point. As for Baker, he really didn't commit to fleeing there. I don't know if he was worried he was going to pull a hamstring if he started sprinting cold. That's the first thing that always goes through my head personally. But that was a poor attempt. But either way, great job by Baker bringing it up now. This is the Manning cast, fellas. This is your opportunity for virality. There's a lot of people that watch that show. It's a big spot to be. So it's okay to go out there and make fun of yourself because now all of us, we love you more for it. The Tampa Bay Bucks are cruising right now. I believe they're tied for leading the entire NFC. So it's okay to make fun of your past exploits and shortcomings when you're balling out that much right now. So I thought this was great, man. Way to use your platform and have a little bit of fun.
Yep, Bucks 6-2, first place in the NFC North. Baker Mayfield, 1,919 passing yards on the season. He's got a couple of rushing yards as well. 13 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions. Baker Mayfield's rolling, and so are the Bucks. David Beckham is now officially Sir David Beckham. The soccer legend gets knighted by King Charles when TMZ Sports rolls on right after this.
On the TMZ Celebrity Tour, we've seen huge stars like Kevin Hart, Ben Affleck, The Rock, and Jamie Foxx. Buses depart daily from the Hard Rock Cafe in Hollywood, so head to TMZTour.com and book your tickets for the TMZ Celebrity Tour.
Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Call him Sir David Beckham from now on. It ain't just David Beckham anymore because the soccer legend received an absolutely awesome honor this week from none other than King Charles. Guys, he has received his knighthood, and again, he is now officially Sir David Beckham. He's always been a legend in the UK, But now I guess he's a knight for his, they say, recognition for his services to sport and to charity, both industries where he's made tremendous accomplishments, charity and sports-wise. So pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It is. And David Beckham, Sir David, my apologies, is a huge fan of the royals. Like, he has talked about how he has traveled the world and everyone is asking him about the royal family. And he says this is so important to the monarchy and all of this, that this is a distinction that I'm sure he is taking so highly and is so proud of. You just saw in the pictures and the videos, he was smiling from ear to ear throughout this. But as someone who is the captain of the English national team and has had so many different charitable efforts using his platform for good, this makes complete sense to me.
Yeah, I have two questions here, fellas. The first one is, like, we have to call him Sir David, right? Now that he's been knighted, if you call him David, that's a big problem.
Big no-no.
I'm assuming.
Sir David.
The second question is, why is his wife dressed like she's going to a funeral? This is the death of humility in the household after you've been knighted and you're going to be talking all that trash in home. I don't know what that is. I have a couple of questions here, but what I do know, this is awesome. I love every second. Obviously, you saw the Beckham documentary recently. That was a great documentary. You know how people feel about him. It reminds you all that he has accomplished. And then you factor in all the good deeds that he's done. So, yeah, this one makes a lot of sense. Really cool for sure.
I kind of want to be knighted. It's pretty cool the way they do, like, with the sword.
It was really cool
when
when
Lewis
Hamilton
got it. Is it a sharp sword, or do they dull it before?
I hope they dull it. What if they cut you? What if the king cut David Beckham, God forbid?
Lawsuit.
No, that's part of the process, maybe, is you have to get cut a little bit.
You've got to draw some blood. Yeah, it's like Cosa Nostra or something.
Sealed with blood.
We're not sure if that's true or not. We're going to look into that. In the meantime, we are out of time. We got a big show tomorrow. It's going to be great. We'll see you then.
I'm a lawyer.